Hello. So we're going to rank the Hoenn Champion Stadium stages. All the Pokemon as bosses are listed below. Because I'm in quarantine and I'm just tired. Like I didn't get COVID, but I'm just tired. So I'm just gonna go through each Pokemon for 2 to 3 minutes, and I'm gonna give a quick conclusion on which tier it should be on. Free is super easy. Meh is a normal difficulty. Tough is a bit difficult, needs some planning, you could struggle. Whelp tier is extremely difficult and not enough water, negative 6.9 out of 10 is a tier that either is extremely difficult that it needs to be there, or a stage that doesn't make any sense or could have been a much better design. So, without further ado, let's begin with the first member is Sydney. Sydney and Absol. So, Absol, let me just put it here first. Absol is, oh, also, if you really, because I already have those stage details in my memory, if you want to have a reference while listening to my comment, make sure you go to Pokemon Master Tools, check for Hoenn Stadium, and go through the details before we come back here. So, first stage is Sydney and Absol with Thunder Wave, Water Pulse, Close Combat, Dark Pulse, Nice Slash, Brutal Swing, I think. One major problem is Paralysis Synergy 3 from Absol Thunder Wave, so definitely not free because you could have some problems. It also requires some special attack lowering, which the only fairy type that can be done is either Moonblast or a Spirit Break, which of course you can use Sycamore. But the best way to deal with Absol is Summon Marnie, which is not good because Summon Marnie is a limited stick pair. The sides of Heat Wave, Rock Slide, Drill Peck, I think, are also a bit hard to deal with. And of course, Paralysis is really annoying. I think Absol is in tough. Of course, I think this stage is rather easy for me. I would put in Meh for myself because I have Summon Marnie. So yeah, I think it's between Meh and tough. I'm going to put in Meh because I feel like a lot of people would get Summon Marnie actually. But like back when Summon Marnie is on, I was actually in the hospital. So like, I just don't want to focus on my game, so I gave up Summon Marnie. And so Meti for Absol here. Next one to take a look at is Cacturne. Cacturne, with the flying, we've got it's a special Cacturne. We got like Buddha Seed, Dark Pulse. I honestly don't remember what the stage is for now. I think it's like Buddha Seed. Maybe it has like Dark Pulse, I think. I'm not entirely sure. It also has Sceptile and Serena at the side. I think this stage is okay. Meh as well. I had a bit of a trouble using Lugia. Like I do like 30.5k points, just in case you're not aware. And I'm thinking in more like a 30.5k points perspective. Cacturne can hit really hard because he gets the +2 special attack boost pre. And and Buddha Seed, no quarter, can hit really hard. Dark Pulse can flinch. Feint Attack. Feint Attack, that move is. Feint Attack cannot miss. It can hit really hard actually, so I think it's Meh here. I had some problems because Cacturne hit rather hard and would like one shot my entire team. So Meh here it is. It's definitely not free because it has some difficulties for me. Okay, next stage we're gonna go through is Shiftry. Shiftry is Bug Week with one of the most horrible move, Dark Zone, which is a zone that powers up Dark type moves by 1.5, which you can only cancel by default or replacing another zone, which zones are limited. First of all. Second of all, it has Seed Bomb, it has Snarl, it has Feint Attack, which is really annoying because Snarl hits everyone, and if it crits or it hits hard, your ally Pokemon or your striker dies. I think this is almost a Whelp tier, if I'm being honest. Just for me personally, I think it's almost a Whelp tier. I'm gonna put in tough though. Of course, those who have Emmett and Ingo will say it's so easy. I probably put in free tier. No, for me it's tough. I think Sydney and Shiftry gave me a lot of trouble. I had a lot of trouble with Shiftry during my 30.5k run, especially in week 5. Week 3 is okay. Week 5 is just horrible. I have no idea why. But yeah, Shiftry at tough tier. Mainly because of Dark Zone. And like Brainy Rush and Fanfare 2. Really annoying. Okay, let's take a look at the next member, Phoebe. Starting off with Dusknoir. Dusknoir is free because all ghost stages are almost really easy. We got Sinister Karina, we got Cynthia, Lily, Morty, Alistair. Like Alistair isn't the best, but like Alistair is still decent. We already have really good ghost types, and like no ghost stage can counter Cynthia or Lily, basically. Even though the Bronzong has Sentry Entry, Lunana literally was it. Free tier. Of course, Earthquake is kind of annoying. Unbreakable Bonds, the lower the HP it is, the more the attack it boosts. Really annoying as well. But if you beat this thing pre-sync, there's no reason to be scared of it. Definitely free tier. Bayonet. I think Bayonet is actually extremely hard. I think it's almost here. I'm being honest. I think it's almost there for me. So yeah, this is like a personal tier list, but generally I think this thing is probably here. Generally, I think this thing is here. Generally. But I think it's for me is here. Extremely difficult this stage. Even like off type, I had a promise of off type things with Serenum. So the reason is it has Ghost Zone, Ominous Wind, Shadow Ball, Shadow Sneak. And it has, I think it has a Fanfare too as well. So when I was trying this with Max Royale, and it also has Sentry Entry 3. So like when I was trying this with Max Royale, I almost beat this thing with Max Royale, but I failed. So I ended up using this thing as a random. But obviously I failed. And besides, it has a lot of HP. 28k HP, really high. And just, oh gosh, this thing is so annoying. It took me a long time to beat this thing. Really unexpected to be that bulky and that's so many HP. And like Shadow Sneak hits hard, Ominous Wind can have Omni Boost, and Omni Boost, and the other one is Shadow Ball, lowering special defense. I think this stage is actually really difficult. Of course, Sinister Cyrus puts you in the bottom. Summer End puts at the bottom. But like, how many Dark type special attackers do we have? We got Karen. Oh yeah, Karen. Oh yeah, Karen's actually really good now. But when we had this stage, we don't have Karen buff yet. So we got Cyrus, we got Zolwork, and we got Karen. And Inteleon, Dark Pulse, and I don't know who else. But I think it's here. Well, I guess you can disagree with me, but I think it's just too difficult for me. Drift Boom, free. No. Let me think about this. Because now we have Ash and Red. Electric type stages are basically too easy. Because they hit so hard. Both of them hit so hard. Either one of them hits so hard. You just have to get either one of them. And we're not talking about Aaron here. We're talking about Phoebe. Phoebe and Drift Bloom. I think the only thing that maybe makes you struggle is Healthy Advantage 5. But like Paralysis is so easy to get. Like Discharge has a 50% chance to paralyze. Nuzzle can guarantee you the paralysis. Thunder Shock can have a 10% chance to paralyze. Marnie has a Hostile Environment 5. Ash can get Staggering 4 Hostile Environment. Ash's Thunder has a 30% chance to get to Paradise. I think it's meant to free. I think it's towards free though. Just it's too easy. Like all electric type stages are now too easy at this point with Ash and Red. Like they're unstoppable literally with the new Buddy Move, Max Lightning, G-Max Volt Crash. Like unstoppable. Okay, on to a Glacier here. We'll start off with Frostlass. Frostlass has the gimmick of Hail, Draining Kiss, Blizzard, Icy Wind. And setting up Hail and entry, setting up Hail pre-sync. And Hail and Hardy either getting Hail 5. SQ on the left, Jinx on the right. I think this thing is meh. I won't say it's too easy because my Reshiram had problems with that thing. Like almost dying dying. And like I have to use Noble Rock quite a few times to lower its special attack. And yes, this thing can raise its special attack after sync. So like, and Blizzard. Blizzard does not miss under Hail. Icy Wind, lowering the speed, can hit hard. Draining Kiss has Master Healer 2. And has Healing Hail 1 as well. I think it's meh. It's not free because like I don't think all fire types can deal with Frost Blast. You need to change the weather for sure, or you're gonna have a lot of trouble. Of course, you can use Blaine or use a Max Flare. But I think Frost Blast is meh here. Just I think that Frost Blast is tough to deal with, and it hits really hard. Okay, Walrein is next. Walrein. So, Walrein. It has Hydro Pump, it has Blizzard, Piercing Gaze, it has Icicle Spear. Yeah, I think it has those moves only. And like Dugong on the left, Croystar on the right. Please correct me in the comment section if I'm wrong. I'm just memorizing things based on the top of my head. I didn't write anything down. I'm just saying I'm just saying while just ranking here. I think Walrein is meh. I'm just thinking that Walrein is meh because Piercing Gaze Blizzard is just scary. It can freeze you, which did quite a few times. Hydro Pump hits hard, Blizzard hits hard, Icicle Spear hits 5 times. And it raises its special attack pre-sync. Yeah, I think it's meh. Also, it has Sentry Entry 3. Raises its defense when entering the battle. So if you want to like use a physical and lower defense, you have to lower it very slowly. Unless you're using like Dojo Gloria, which lowers the defense by 3 per time you attack it. So I think it's more like a meh. So let's take a look at the next one, which is Mega Glady. So Mega Glady I had problems with. First of all, because it has Sentry Entry 2. Yeah, Sentry Entry 2. So I'm forced to use a special attacker. And during week 3, I already used Stings of Serena against Drake. So I cannot use Stings of Serena. I was forced to EX Raihan to beat that stage. And I used Lyra, OG Lyra against Glacier as well, which is really surprising. I think this stage is actually on the top of Whelp tier. Okay, yes, you would say Steel Zone busted with Caesar Giovanni, Kimono Grimsby, Steven. I've seen a lot of people beating this thing with physical attackers, steel physical attackers. But I think this stage is still really hard because if you're doing this post-sync, this thing hits extremely hard. It has buffed special attack, and it raises its special attack pre-sync. I don't think this is extremely hard because it doesn't have buffed special attack. It doesn't have buffed HP, but I just think this stage is rather difficult for me because I'm forced to EX Raihan to beat this stage. So Whelp tier down. Okay. The next one we're gonna take a look at is Drake. Kingdra is freeze here. Dragon type's busted. I don't think I have to explain too much. The only thing that trips it up is basically rain, I think. But like Rayquaza needs rain. And then Sirius Serena is like the best unit. Best striker. Like Sirius Leon's good. Lucas is good. I cannot think of any dragon types that cannot beat Kingdra. Even Lance can beat Kingdra. Sirius Cynthia can beat Kingdra. Like, Acute Sense doesn't really matter because the reagent basically cancels out Acute Sense for. So yeah, Kingdra is free tier. There's no way it's not in free. Unless you're like a new player. Unless you're a new player, these three, Dusknoir, Driftbloom, and Kingdra are totally free. Or unless you didn't get Ash or Red, which I think most of you guys did get. And like, if you don't have Singset Cynthia or Lunala, use Morty. Like, if you don't have Morty, then I don't know why you don't have Morty. Like, anyway. Salamence. Salamence, I think, is a weird thing here. I want to go Salamence and Flygon at the same time. Because Salamence and Flygon have basically the same moveset. Earthquake, Dragon Claw, and Brutal Swing. I have no idea why. And I checked Cynthia's Garchomp, it also has Earthquake, Rock Tomb, and Brutal Swing, which is very similar to Salamence and Flygon as well. I have no idea what's going on. So like, this thing with Rock, it has Tough Cookie. Tough Cookie. Basically, the higher the defense, the more damage it outputs. It has Sentry Entry 1, and a Hard to Starboard, which raises its defense to 3. I think it's meh. I think we have already really good rock types like Hilda, Emmet, Olivia. Olivia's really good. I don't know why people don't use Olivia. Olivia is actually really good. Actually really good. Like, I adore Olivia. Oh, I don't simp him. So, but like, Olivia is just really good. And like, Earthquake could hit hard. Brutal Swing doing AoE damage could be a problem. But I think this stage is not too difficult. Basic, and oh yeah, and this thing has reduced attack compared to like other rock stages like our Kahili and Bravery. This thing has reduced attack compared to Bravery. So like, it's meh, it's not tough. And your Pokemon probably won't die that easily. So like, when I was taking out Drake, my team was like Sings of Blue, Asaroda, and Olivia. What I did is I calc and I know Asaroda would die after Drake uses a Sync. But Olivia and Sings of Blue will still survive. So I set up a Sandstorm before Asaroda dies, and I just sweep the whole team. Flygon. I had trouble with Flygon. I want to say, I will probably like add a new tier and say best boy Flygon. Let me just add that. Add a row below. And then say Flygon. Yep. You deserve here. Flygon's the best Pokemon. It shouldn't be like judged. Everyone should love Flygon. No judging. But like personally, like in a general statement without any bias of Flygon, he's here. For me personally, I think it's here. But I think generally, I think it's here. With Holiday Leon, Hala, Candice, this thing is just too easy. Because this thing basically relies on Sandstorm. Taking out the Sandstorm or freezing it, basically, you win the game. Which I don't have both. And I use Custom Diantha for Flygon. So yeah, I'm not going to judge him too much because I'm not using the correct way to beat Flygon, first of all. And second of all, like, Flygon was the best Pokemon. I should not be judging my favorite Pokemon because I have bias. Flygon's here. Let's take a look at Steven Stone next. Steven Stone, the two stages we haven't gone through is we haven't really taken a look at Master Mode. It's Metagross and Milotic. So these two might be inaccurate, but we'll still go through them. We'll still go through them too. I actually forgot about the Metagross stage, speaking of which. So like, if you don't mind, let me just go check. Where's Google? Freaking hell. Google. Pokemon Masters tools. Let's go take a look at the Metagross stage together because I don't remember it myself. Save. Let's go to menu, Gemcidium, Hoenn, Steven. There you go. So, okay. Metagross has more attack and more HP. Hammer Arm, Meteor Mash, and Iron Head. X-Speed off, Physical Shield, the best there is. Toughen Up, Tighten Up, Pinwheel, Injury, Catalyst. Okay, I know the tier now. Definitely, man. Definitely, man. First of all, we have 4 more ground type units right now. Like Rillaboom, Nidoking, Camerupt, Groudon. And Zygarde as well. We already have some really good ground type units that can be and Bertha, yep. We already have some, and Cynthia buffed already also before this, of course. But after we come back to Hoenn, we have a lot much better ground type units, which like Hammer Arm can hit hard, Iron Head can flinch,
And then medium match can buff your attack, but like it really doesn't matter. Toughen up, tighten up can be walled by critical hits. So like no, mid tier. Definitely not free and definitely not tough. Of course, if you still don't have any ground type units, which you should have a ground type unit, like Hapu has an EX, go EX Hapu. And like there's a comment I saw today and he's saying like, oh, I want to get Clay and Exadrill and like Clay EX. Go for it. Clay isn't that bad to be real. Clay can be usable, but it's not easy to use. Metagross is mad here. Aggron is free. First of all, its main mechanic is Metal Burst. And how Metal Burst works is when you attack the Aggron while Aggron sets up a Metal Burst hits you back immediately and you take massive damage. But what if you don't hit the Aggron while he sets up Metal Burst? He does no damage for 2 turns. And you basically can take out the sides in the meantime. Any water type counters this thing. We have far more water types. A lot of water types now. Including Dojo Gloria, Archie, Gloria, Summer Gloria, May, water types. Even seems that Misty can do that thing. Barry can do that. Can beat that thing. Any water type can beat this thing. Seriously, maybe besides Marlon, even Sibo can beat that thing. Seriously, so like, there's no point. Even like the Towering Forest Tough Cookie thing, isn't really devastating and not frightening at all. I think it's free. Everyone can beat this thing. Okay, Claydol. Based on Pokemon Masters, it's ground sync, but it should be psychic. Claydol is just free. Like, we already have so many good grass types now. Like, of course, before during August or September, we don't have Rillaboom. But now we have like Rillaboom, Decidueye, Sceptile, Mega Sceptile. We've got Shiny Serena. We got Leafeon. Like we have so many good grass types now. And like setting up Psychic Terrain, yes, devastating. Grassy Terrain exists, and maybe you would beat this thing before it even sets up the Psychic Terrain. So like it's not hard. Maybe I'll put in meh. Maybe I'll put in meh here, but like I think this thing is just too easy. Again, like what's the point? Psychic Terrain. Replace with Grassy Terrain, or like you could do something else. Meh here. The reason is we have too many good grass type units. And like the reason like some stages can be really difficult if you have like a good if you have the wrong units, such as these 3 stages. But like if you have the correct units, or the majority of the correct units, these stages are either main or free, or besides this. Okay, Wallace is last here. Ludicolo. Ludicolo has Robust Physics 5, which no status, no crit. I think this stage is actually tough. Took me a while to figure out the solution to Ludicolo because you have to status the thing, and poison is the key. Of course, poison stall free, of course, but like even if you put this poison stall, it's not free. It's meh if you poison stall, but I think if you want to attack it, I think it's tough. I ended up with series of Giovanni. We got Alistair and Hilbert, Max Ooze. And then it has Blizzard Hostile Environment, which kind of sucks, but it really doesn't matter because it only uses Blizzard twice, and then the rest is Water Pulse and Hydro Pump, which is fine. I don't think it's like easy or too hard, but I think it's in the middle. It's slightly difficult if you're like unprepared. So yeah, tough. And the second is we're really lacking poison types. Yes, while I'm doing this, we have a new poison type coming up. No spoilers, but like before that, The best poison type unit is not even a poison type. We've got Lucre, Koga, Lucre, Koga. Who else? Plumeria, Marnie, and Toxicroak. Not enough poison types. Poison type is about to get a buff, but while I'm recording this, it does not have the buff, so it's tough. But I think after the buff, it might be here because of Sparta, Iris, and Naganeo of Poison Zone. It's here. Tentacruel. Tentacruel with the Psychic. I think it's meh. I think it's actually kind of free though, because we have so many good Psychic types again, like Lear, Lusamami, Giovanni. It's for free. Seems that Steven extremely busted. Like, this thing is just so easy. Psychic types are just busted now. But I think it's here actually because I think it's really bulky though, and it has boosted attack. So like the poison jab, bubble beam, waterfall can hit really hard. It can poison you. You can get a speed drop. You can get a flinch, and it lands a toxic before sync. And if this thing gets up a sync, you're dead for sure. You're dead for sure. No matter how. No matter what happens, you're dead for sure. So I think it's man. It isn't free. I want to take a look at the Milotic stage once again because I don't exactly remember that stage because we haven't tried this before. So it has less attack, more HP. Hydro Pump, Water Pulse, Serve, X Special Defense Off, Physical Shield, X Special Attack All, Aquatic Prince, Hydro Pump. It has so many. Raging Rain, Shower Power, Pinpoint Entry, Downpour, Flood Alert, Shower Stick, and Wise Entry. Key thing here is Wise Entry. So the thing about the grass types you're using. Costume Sonia, Brendan, Sinister Erica, Rillaboom, Celine. All of these are all physical. None of these are special. I have no idea why it says raise the user's special defense though. What is this stage trying to counter? Counter Sinister Lyra or like counter Sinister Leaf? Like no one thinks of Sinister Lyra. Like no one thinks of Sinister Lyra. Maybe Sinister Leaf, yes. But like I just don't see the reason why it's Wise Entry. If it's Sentry Entry though, it's a whole different story. If it's Sentry Entry, it's a whole different story. Let me just rank this. If it's actually Sentry Entry, I think it's almost here. If it's Sentry Entry, because you're forced to use special grass types like Sycamore and Bulbasaur. You're forced to use things Lyra with a Sync or Brendan with Leaf Storm. You're forced to do this. But it's not. So it's here. Here. So yeah, I think this here is done. We've got not enough water, negative 6.9 out of 10 with Banette. I just think there are too little dark special attackers, and four of them besides Karen, 3 of them are all limited, and I think a lot of people are lacking Signals of Cyrus, or even if Signals of Cyrus, they're not used to sync. I think Mega Glady is rather difficult without a Steel Zone or a proper Steel type, and forcing me to EX a unit is just horrifying. Shiftry and Ludicolo are tough tier with the special Bug Zone gimmick and Blizzard hostile environment, and it's really difficult to stall with actually Grand Illusion, blocking status conditions, and set up an endurance effect. Meta, we have Absol, Cacturne, Forest Walrein, Rock, the Salamence, Metagross, Claydol, Tentacruel, and Milotic. They're all fine. If you have the correct pairs, it's definitely Meta. It won't cause you too much trouble. Free tier, we have Dusknoir, Drifbloom, Kingdra, and Aggron because Ghost, Electric, Dragon, and Water types are too easy to counter. They're there. Of course, you would say, why Cacturne is not free? Because we have Annie, Ray, and Ethan. They're not very superior. Based on my opinion, they're not extremely superior. They're good, but not extremely superior to an extent a lot of people have and use them, or have them and would scout for them. But But like water types, who would not have May, dragon type? If you do have things Serena, use Lance, Chairman Iris. Any dragon type can beat this thing. Like Drift Bloom. Don't have Ash, don't have Red. Use N, use Marnie. Still can't beat this thing. This thing is frail. Not frail, but the thing is not difficult to beat. And Dusknoir, just how would you not have a ghost type unit? Even Fantina can't beat this thing. Like I don't know. I have never seen anyone who does not have Sinister Cynthia or Annie Lily. Because back then you have 2 or 3 months to scout for a Sinister Cynthia, and those, or including myself, who do not have a habit to save gems, even had enough time to get the scout points for Cynthia. And like Flygon is the best Pokemon. No need to rank here. So yeah, that's it for the tier list. I'm pretty sure someone's gonna say, "Oh, this should be there. This should be there." I don't agree with you. Fine. Let me know in the comment section below. I'd love to read your comments about your ranking. But before that, I just want to quickly share. I just want to give a quick shout out to Discord. Oh, I have to like. Oh, I hope this pops up later. Let me try this again. Does it reset? No, that's not perfect. Shout out to Zap210 helping me out with this tier list. This is his tier. As you can see, ghost types are free. Fighting type he thinks is free. I don't agree. Some people don't have good fighting type units, and I know people struggle. Some people struggle with fighting types. Dragon type is free for sure. Water type is free for sure. Poison Stall for Ludicolo is not free. This stage is not free. Just because it's a bit bulky and Blizzard can freeze. Grass types can be really easy to deal with, I think. And Tentacruel, like Psychic types, are really easy. I can't blame Tentacruel and Claydol for free. Mare, we've got Milotic, Salamence, Metagross, Aglady, Frostlass, Cacturne, and Driftbloom. Kinda agree with most of them, but I think Glady should be higher. Tough, Shiftry, yep. Shiftry is difficult. Flygon should be at the Flygon tier, not in tough tier. And well, I don't know why Absol is in very difficult tier. I think Absol is pretty easy. But maybe for some people, it's really difficult. And Banette is like, should be higher. So yeah, that's it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed the tier list. And let me know what you think about my tier list and Zap's tier list. And that's it.